Welcome to the Royal Photographic Society's annual award ceremony for 2021. Our host is the RPS President, Simon Hill, who will introduce this year's award recipients.
Since 1878, the Royal Photographic Society has recognised individuals working across the art and science of photography. Today, this has expanded from photographers and imaging scientists to now include those working with photography in curation, publishing and education. The 2021 recipients tell remarkable stories through images and words. Their work is a testament to the power of photography to inspire, uplift and incite change. It is my enormous pleasure to announce the recipients of our awards for 2021. We start with recognising those who have provided significant service to the RPS, our Fenton medalists. Mary Crowther was an inspired regional organiser for the Yorkshire region, developing advisory days, cafe sessions, photo forums, photo shoot workshop opportunities and distinctions talks. Mary is still very much involved in the Society's activities. Mark Reeves was a founding member of the RPS Landscape Group, later its web manager and now its events manager. Mark also sits on the Society's Environmental and Social Responsibility Committee. Stuart Wall is the regional organiser for the East Midlands and chair of the Members Committee. Stuart is also an assessor on the licentiate panel and is the first panel chair of the new photo book distinction genre. Rex Waygood is co-chair of the Digital Imaging Group. He has worked with a team of volunteers and committee members presenting Zoom events which commenced at the start of lockdown and which quickly became a much used source of interaction and inspiration for Society members. Peter Hayes has been chair of the Distinctions Committee, has chaired various distinctions panels and has chaired the Fellowship Board. Peter also worked on the RPS 100 Heroines project to promote women photographers, which exhibited internationally and received national media coverage. Our Members Award recognises extraordinary support to the Society over a sustained period. Sheila Haycox has made a significant contribution to the RPS as webmaster for two of our special interest groups, the Audiovisual Group and the Western region of the Digital Imaging Group, of which she was also centre organiser. The RPS seeks to encourage new talent, and one way we do this is through our bursary programme. This provides funding which allows photographers to develop and deliver personal projects. As COVID restrictions begin to ease, our 2020 bursary recipients, Judy Ford, Ngadi Smart and Brooke Andrew, are now busy working on their projects, and we look forward to seeing their work next year. The recipients of our 2021 bursaries are Supratim Bhattacharjee for the Joan Wakelin Social Documentary Bursary, awarded in partnership with The Guardian, Joanna Vesti for the Environmental Bursary, awarded in partnership with the Photographic Angle, and Jimmy Ho for the Postgraduate Bursary. We look forward to seeing their completed projects next year. Another way that we support established and emerging photographers is through our International Photography Exhibition, which is now in its 163rd edition. It's the world's longest running photographic exhibition, and for the first time we are announcing here the recipients of the Under 30s Award and the overall winner. The photographs selected for exhibition will be on view at RPS Gallery from April 2022. The Under 30s Award goes to Kyung Yun Yang for his project Men Don't Cry, which looks at male masculinity and emotion. The IPE Award goes to Tim Franco for his compelling project Unperson, which portrays defectors from North Korea. The Selwyn Award recognises a researcher under the age of 35 who has conducted imaging science-based research. This year's recipient is Dr. Caroline Erlin. Caroline is a senior lecturer working across the School of Science and Engineering and the School of Art and Design at the University of Dundee. She's the programme lead for the MSc in Medical Art and also runs modules on the MSc in Forensic Art and Facial Imaging, as well as lecturing on an undergraduate module in Scientific Illustration and Visualisation. Her research interests focus on the future of medical art and artists, particularly in relation to new and emerging technologies. Allied in subject matter is the RPS Award for Scientific Imaging, which this year goes to Kim Cox. Kim has also had success in this year's RPS Science Photographer of the Year exhibition. Kim photographs soap bubbles and their associated phenomena. Her practice combines emerging and established research and occasionally art symbolism to provide pertinent, macro and extreme macro photographs that will inspire and/or support the work of others. Kim designs and builds complex studio sets, lighting rigs, and creates bubble solutions that often take months to reach a good working consistency to achieve her goals. The combined Royal Colleges Medal is given in collaboration with the UK's 5 Royal Medical Colleges and is awarded for an outstanding contribution to photography and its application to the service of medicine and surgery. This year's recipient is Douglas Anderson. Douglas's 5-year-old son suffered a spontaneous retinal detachment, which went undetected until it was too late to treat. Noting the severe limitations of tools that practitioners had available for screening patients for retinal conditions, he built a dedicated research team to look into the problem, which in due course led to the formation of Optos plc and the development of the world's first ophthalmic device capable of producing a single high-resolution, ultra-wide-field image of the retina. How we see photography is often mediated through exhibitions and publications, and our next awards recognise individuals working in these areas. The RPS Award for Curatorship is given to Azu Wagabu. Azu is the founder and director of the African Artists Foundation, a non-profit organisation based in Lagos, Nigeria. Azu was appointed as the interim director and head curator of the Zeitz Museum of Contemporary Art in South Africa. He also serves as founder and director of the Lagos Photo Festival, an annual international arts festival of photography held in Lagos. Azu is the publisher of Art Base Africa, a virtual space to discover and learn about contemporary art from Africa and its diaspora. The J. Dudley Johnston Award is for major achievement in the field of photographic criticism or the history of photography. The 2021 award goes to Professor Emeritus Helen Ennis, who has had a wide-ranging curatorial career. She was appointed to the position of Curator of Australian and International Photography in 1985 and was appointed the inaugural Director of the ANU Centre for Art History and Art Theory and the Sir William Doble Chair of Art History in 2014. She has curated numerous exhibitions for national cultural institutions. She's published extensively on Australian photographic practice, including the work of women photographers. The RPS Award for Photographic Publication goes to someone who perhaps will be very familiar to many of you through his imprint, Steidl. Today, Gerhard Steidl publishes the largest worldwide programme of contemporary photo books and an ambitious German literature list. Gerhard conceives and curates international exhibitions, including those of Robert Frank, Orhan Pamuk and Karl Lagerfeld. In 2020, Steidl received the Outstanding Contribution to Photography Prize at the Sony World Photography Awards and the Gutenberg Prize from the International Gutenberg Society in Mainz. Education lies at the heart of our activities, and it is key to delivering our charitable object of public benefit. Those who work in education are recognised through our Education Award. The 2021 Education Award goes to Esther Teichmann, who teaches at the Royal College of Art. Esther was a guest professor at the California College of the Arts in San Francisco in 2013 and was senior lecturer in photography at the University of the Arts London from 2009 to 2018. Her practice moves across still and moving image, collage and painting, creating alternate worlds which blur autobiography and fiction. Young people are at the heart of education, and our Vic Odden Award recognises a notable achievement in the art of photography by an individual under the age of 35. The 2021 recipient is Sylvia Rossi, whose work traces her personal history, drawing on her Togolese heritage and the idea of origins. The theme is explored through self-portraits, in which she plays her parents, narrating their experience of migration from Togo to Italy. Her images are partially informed by the West African studio portrait tradition. The RPS Award for Editorial, Advertising and Fashion Photography goes to Tyler Mitchell, a young photographer and filmmaker working across many genres to explore and document a new aesthetic of blackness. In 2018, Tyler made history as the first black photographer to shoot a cover of American Vogue for Beyoncé's appearance in the September issue. In 2020, he was announced as the recipient of the Gordon Parks Fellowship, which will culminate in an exhibition of his new works at the gallery of the Gordon Parks Foundation. The Hud Medal was first awarded in 1933 and recognises photography and public service. Dexter McLean is a photographer with cerebral palsy. He works as a photographer but also acts as a role model and advocate for disabled people. In 2021, he self-published his first monograph, Tower Avenue, visiting the community around Olympic Gardens, Jamaica, where he spent his childhood. In March 2022, Dexter will display Tower Avenue, his first solo exhibition, at Orleans House, Richmond, London. The RPS was involved at the dawn of the moving image in the 1890s and recognises two aspects of this area of photography. The Lumière Award is given for major achievement in cinematography, video or animation, and this year it is awarded to Phoebe Boswell. Phoebe's figurative and multidisciplinary practice denotes a commitment of care for how we see each other and ourselves. Phoebe studied painting at the Slade School of Fine Art and 2D animation at Central St Martin's School of Art. Her drawings, installations and film and video works have been exhibited internationally and are held in collections including the UK Government Art Collection, the British Film Institute National Archive and the Studio Museum, New York. The award for cinematic production recognises a sustained contribution in the production or development of film for the cinema, television, online or new media. This year's recipient is writer, director, producer and film distributor Ava DuVernay, an Academy Award nominee and Emmy, BAFTA and Peabody Award winner. Her directorial work includes the Oscar-winning civil rights drama Selma, the Oscar-nominated social justice documentary 13th, and the Disney children's adventure A Wrinkle in Time, which made her the highest-grossing black woman director in American box office history. We now come to our Honorary Fellowships. These are awarded to distinguished people connected with the art or science of photography. Nominations always far exceed the number of Honorary Fellowships that are available, and it is my great pleasure to announce the recipients for 2021. Vanley Burke is often described as the godfather of black British photography. His iconic images have captured the evolving cultural landscape and societal change and have stimulated debate in Britain over the past 4 decades. Vanley's substantial archive is housed in the Library of Birmingham, and he has exhibited widely, including in the United States, South Africa and China. VALIE Export is a pioneer in film, video and installation art. VALIE has produced one of the most significant bodies of feminist art in the post-war period. Her groundbreaking films and performances in the 1960s and 1970s introduced a new form of radical, embodied feminism to Europe, examining the politics of the body in relation to its environment, culture and society. Lola Flash has been working at the forefront of genderqueer visual politics for more than 3 decades. Her work challenges stereotypes and gender, sexual and racial preconceptions. An active member of ACT UP during the time of the AIDS epidemic in New York City, Lola was notably featured in the 1989 Kissing Doesn't Kill poster. Her art and activism are profoundly connected, fueling a lifelong commitment to visibility and preserving the legacy of LGBTQIA+ and communities of colour worldwide. She is currently a proud member of the Kumungi Collective and is on the board of Queer Art. The artistic practice of Latoya Ruby Frazier spans a range of media, including photography, video, performance, installation art and books. It centres on the nexus of social justice, cultural change and commentary on the American experience. In various interconnected bodies of work, Latoya uses collaborative storytelling to address topics of industrialism, Rust Belt revitalisation, environmental justice, access to healthcare, access to clean water, workers' rights, human rights, family and communal history. This builds on her commitment to the legacy of 1930s social documentary work and 1960s and 70s conceptual photography, that address urgent social and political issues of everyday life. Dana Lixenberg is known for her stripped-down portraits that revel in the elemental characteristics of her subjects. Dana uses a large format field camera, which necessitates what she refers to as a slow dance between her and her subjects. The resulting portraits contain an enormous amount of detail and texture and are as revelatory as a personal encounter. The power of the work derives from its intimacy, compositional rigour, and importantly, the absence of social stereotyping. In addition to her extensive editorial practice, for which she has photographed many cultural icons, Dana pursues long-term projects with a primary focus on marginalised communities. Alex Soth is a photographer born and based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He's a member of Magnum, he's published over 25 books, and he has had over 50 solo exhibitions. Alec has been the recipient of numerous fellowships and awards. These include the Guggenheim Fellowship, and in 2008 he created Little Brown Mushroom, a multimedia enterprise focused on visual storytelling. Mitra Tabrizian is an Iranian-British artist and filmmaker. Her photographic work has been exhibited and published widely and is represented in major international museums and public collections. Solo museum shows include Tate Britain, and she exhibited in the Iranian Pavilion at the Venice Biennale. She was awarded the Royal Academy's Rose Award for Photography in 2013. Mitra was selected as one of 100 heroines celebrating women in photography today. The RPS Progress Medal was first awarded in 1878. It has since evolved to recognise scientific or technical progress in photography or imaging. Our 2021 recipient was a key member of the international Event Horizon Telescope collaboration, which in April 2019 captured the first ever direct image of a black hole, the active supermassive black hole at the core of the supergiant elliptical galaxy Messier 87, some 53.5 million light-years from Earth. Dr. Katie Bouman is a Rosenberg Scholar and an assistant professor in computing and mathematical sciences. Her research focuses on computational imaging, designing systems that tightly integrate algorithm and sensor design, making it possible to observe phenomena previously difficult or impossible to measure with traditional approaches. Katie's group at Caltech combines ideas from signal processing, computer vision, machine learning, and physics.
I am beyond thrilled and honored to have been selected to receive the Royal Photographic Society Progress Medal. So many of the names on the list of past recipients are personal role models and inspirations to me, so I'm humbled to even be considered among them. I was of course just one of the many people who came together from around the world to make the black hole image a reality. But I hope this work has helped to highlight the importance of continuing to advance photography and how new innovations will continue to push the boundaries of imaging in science, technology, and art. There's the well-known phrase, seeing is believing, and that phrase really embodies what continues to motivate me on a daily basis in so much of the work I do. Scientists and engineers have developed many different kinds of creative sensors and computational techniques that allow us to measure the universe around us. But it's one thing to see numbers in a table or points in a plot, and a whole other thing to see a picture that actually visually shows us something that we've never seen before. A photograph allows us to instantly understand connections in space and time that are often too difficult to comprehend from numbers on a page. The first drawing of a flea by Robert Hooke in 1655. The first X-ray of the bony hand of William Röntgen's wife in 1896. The first image of DNA's diffraction pattern by Rosalind Franklin and Raymond Gosling in 1953. The Pillars of Creation taken by Hubble in 1995. These images propelled us into strange worlds in ways that only images can, and established whole new fields of study. Photographs such as these motivate me to continue pushing forward to image what is currently invisible to us, so we might be brought into other worlds that, at this moment, we can only imagine.
The RPS Centenary Medal recognises a sustained and significant contribution to the art of photography. Past recipients have included Sir Don McCullin, Annie Leibovitz, and Steve McCurry. The work of our recipient will be instantly recognisable. Bruce Davidson was born in 1933 and began taking photographs at the age of 10. While attending Rochester Institute of Technology and Yale University, he continued to further his knowledge and develop his passion. He was later drafted into the army and stationed near Paris, where he met Henri Cartier-Bresson. When he left military service in 1957, Davidson worked as a freelance photographer for Life magazine and in 1958 became a full member of Magnum. From 1958 to 1961, he created such seminal bodies of work as The Dwarf, Brooklyn Gang and Freedom Rides. His work has been extensively published in monographs and are included in many major public and private fine art collections around the world. He's received numerous grants and awards and has been inducted into both the Leica Hall of Fame in 2018 and the International Photography Hall of Fame in 2019. He's also directed 3 films. Bruce continues to photograph and produce new bodies of work.
I would like to thank the Royal Photographic Society for this very special award. It's an honor to be recognized by such a prestigious institution, but I wouldn't be here without the love of my family and the support of my colleagues. It's important to me as a photographer to keep exploring and producing meaningful work. After 60 years of making photographs, I can say that photography has given me a platform in which to view the world. I have often found myself an outsider on the inside, discovering beauty and meaning in the most desperate situation.
Our final award recognises an outstanding contribution to photography. Our recipient will be known to all of you through her exhibitions, through her work as a gallerist, and through her teaching and mentoring of others. After some years taking photographs, Zelda Cheatle began a gallery career at the Photographers Gallery in London, working with internationally renowned photographers and emerging British and European artists using photography. From 1989 to 2005, the eponymous Zelda Cheatle Gallery exhibited important work, including Eve Arnold, A Century of Russian Photography, Sarah Moon, Lee Miller, James Van der Zee, Robert Frank, Abbas, and Marimar, among many others. Her gallery consistently showed young and emerging artists while acknowledging the importance of the history of photography and exhibiting iconic work from across the 20th century. From 2005 to 2012, Zelda was responsible for initiating, sourcing and establishing the first photography fund, primarily collecting fine prints of the 20th century. She is currently curating, reviewing and assessing photography on an international basis, and I'm delighted to say has curated an exhibition, Squaring the Circles, which will open at RPS Gallery in July 2022.
I'm so delighted and honoured, and it feels very special to have been nominated and accepted for this award. It's my huge pleasure to be part of the RPS in this way and become a Fellow of the Royal Photographic Society, and it feels most extraordinary to have some kind of acknowledgement of what I've been doing for the last 40 years, because I love photography and I'm still completely immersed in it. Thank you so much.
To conclude our 2021 RPS Awards ceremony, I'd like to pay special thanks to our awards manager Jo McDonald for her diligent work over the past year, and to our committee of external advisors chaired by Sir Brian Pomeroy. Brian and the committee bring an enormous wealth of knowledge to the deliberations of the RPS Awards team. Finally, I'd like to offer my congratulations to all of the recipients, each of whom has made such an important contribution to our understanding and to our appreciation of the art and science of photography. Nominations for the 2022 RPS Awards are now open. Visit our website to find out more. I'll leave you now with a final selection of some of the images from our award recipients. Thank you.